الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسولنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين أما بعد. This is a book that I can recommend to anyone who knows the author Ömer Nasuhi Bilmen. He's a very big scholar from the Ottoman Empire. If you have any translations into your language which are trustworthy, because I saw a German translation which is not acceptable because there were so many mistakes on nearly every page. One should actually burn that book from Aztec Verlag. Yeah, so you have to know. So my recommendation is to ask your local imam if you know if you have a trustworthy imam scholar around, then you may ask him. But this Turkish original is it's a very good book that I can recommend to anyone, and I don't know about the translations to other languages. If you have a trustworthy one that is recommended to you by a trustworthy imam scholar, then you can also consult the translation of this book. But right now we are discussing the Salah, and in this book, by the way, there are 10 babs, 10 chapters. It starts from etiquette, akida, goes on to abdest, that means wudu, and then salah, saum, hajj, zakah, and it goes on like it has also durus about akhlaq at the end. So it's a very nice, very beautiful book. Right now we are discussing Salah, and this is a very nice and condensed book, concise book, which has everything that we need actually in a very concise manner. So let's continue our dars. Right now we are discussing the 12 farz of the Salah. Salah has 12 farz. 6 are inside, 6 are outside the Salah. Outside it starts with tahara from hadith. Hadith is spiritual dirt. So that means we have to take ablution before we take Salah, before we make Salah. And wudu itself has some shurut. There are four farz of wudu, and if you, for example, you have to wash your face, and this itself has details like from where to where is the face. We will discuss all the details later. But know that every 12 of these farz, if only one of these are disregarded like for example, you don't take ablution as it was meant to be, then you don't have ablution, and without ablution, without wudu, you can't make salah. So these are very important details. The second one is tahara from najasa. What is najasa? For example, urine or excrement, for that matter. You have to clean your body, clean your clothes from these before you can pray salah. Setra aura. You have to cover your aura. For men, it's from up above the navel to below your knees, and for women, it's from tip to toes. Woman can only show her face and her hands within prayer. There is ikhtilaf for the feet, but a woman in general has to cover all up. She can show her face and her hands only during prayer. For example, for a woman, if she shows like this in the prayer, and for 3 subhanallah, 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 for that short period of time, then her salah is gone. She has to pray again. That's why women in our Jama'ah who wear the charshaf, the niqab, they have a, how you say, they bind this with a cord, how you say it, so that the charshaf doesn't, that this piece of cloth doesn't get loose and her wrist is shown. So this is very important. then istiqbal al-cubbeli. We have to face towards the Kaaba. So it's important to know where the Kaaba is, and details we will discuss later on. Waqt, we have to pray within the time span, and niyyah. Niyyah is the intention. And niyyah is important actually because niyyah you do with your heart, not with your tongue. So Imam Rabbani Qussurru says, Mujaddid al-Thani, he recommends actually not to make the niyyah. He's the Mujaddid of this, not this century, but of this millennium. We live in the 15th century according to Islam, and he's the Mujaddid. So his statements, they bind us. He says that in Maktubat Rabbani, if you do the niyyah with your mouth, or let me explain it like I understood also from Sohbahs. If we make the niyyah only with our not with our hearts but with our mouths, with our tongue, then this is not a niyyah, because if we are like, if our head is like in the clouds, we just came from work and our head is full with stuff, and we just say, oh, nawaitu salah Allah ta'ala, but our heart is somewhere else, then this is very, very dangerous. In extreme case, our salah is not valid because we didn't make niyyah with our hearts. So before we start salah, we have to collect our hearts, our minds. We are in the spiritual presence of our Creator, Allah Almighty. So the recommendation is to not make. It's of course it's best. That's what is said here as well in this al-hal. The best way to make niyyah with heart and with the lisan. But we live in Akhir Zaman. The minds are so scattered. There is so much stress in the modern times, in the modern world. That's why it's recommended not to make niyyah with the lisan, with the tongue, with the mouth, but only with the heart. And you will see if you try this, if you practice this, that you will, at first, if you didn't do it, that you will have some, that it will take some time until you can make a proper niyyah with your heart only. And in fact, the Sahaba, it is reported that they sat around and they just stood and said, Allahu Akbar. They didn't take, and they were in prayer. They didn't take much time to make niyyah, because they made niyyah while sitting or while standing up. That's why you can, for example, if you go to Jamaat and you want to reach Jamaat prayer as a man, you can make the niyyah while going to the Jamaat. You can just say, when you're standing near your brother, you can just say Allah. You don't need to take time and make niyyah properly. You can make niyyah while going there. And then you just say Allah Akbar and you're in prayer. That's how we have to make niyyah. With our hearts. And 6 farz are within the Salah. Takbir al-iftitah. That means the Allahu Akbar when we go into prayer. Now, takbir itself is very important as well, because there are some mistakes. If we do these, then if we are in prayer, then we are outside, then our prayer becomes invalid. And in the case of iftitah, takbir al-iftitah, if we make this in a wrong way, then we are not counted as in Salah. So we didn't even start to pray, but we may think that we are praying. So this is very, very important, of utmost importance. The takbir, Allahu Akbar. The first alif, if we extend it to more than one miqdar of an alif, then it becomes a question. In Arabic, it's called istifham. If we say Allahu Akbar because we are so excited or whatever, this is wrong. This is a question. Is Allah the greatest? If we do this deliberately, then it becomes shirk actually. We we not only leave the prayer, we leave Islam. Ma'azallah. May Allah protect us from such a big from such a failure. So not Allahu Akbar, but Allahu Akbar. Go directly from the Alif to the Lam. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. No extension. The second mistake maybe if we extend the ba of Akbar. If we say Akbar, Akbar, this is wrong because Akbar is the name of Shaitan. So if you say this, Allahu Akbar, Akbar, and this may become this, if we go into ruku or sajda within the prayer, Allahu Akbar, Akbar, it's wrong. So the prayer is gone. You have to pray again if you do such a mistake. So please, brothers, sisters, be very, very clear about this, that this Allahu Akbar is a thing in itself. It has to be Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, like this. It is very important. Not Allahu Akbar and not Allahu Akbar. No extensions. Because, as I said, this is very important. We may leave Salah if we make such a mistake. And if you know brothers, sisters around who, when you hear that they may make such a mistake, then please, with a soft tongue, with a soft manner, please advise them as well not to do such a mistake. By soft manners, I mean like this is called Amr bil Ma'ruf wa Nahy anil Munkar in Islam. It's very important. If he or she is older than you, then it may be better to leave it, because if a younger person advises something on religion to an older person, that may trigger her or his nafs. It would be difficult for that person to accept advice from a younger person. So such advice should be done on younger persons with a soft manner, not with a hard tone. Okay, next one, please. Next one is qiyam, staying in prayer. The next one is qiraat. You have to recite Quran, of course. And qiraat is you have to. There's tajweed. You have to recite Quran with tajweed, because Quran was revealed with tajweed. So we have to learn it. It's a wajib. And I will make durus on tajweed as well, inshallah ar-Rahman. Then ruku and sujood. We have to make sajda and qadi akhira. And we will get into the details of each one of these points in later durus, inshallah ar-Rahman. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin.